Hey, Oh yeah, tell Calvin I said hey. He's on right now. Time is it? My buddy. Give Calvin my sincerest regard. Get a good angle. He's probably doing better stuff than me right now. But if I'm in the shop, I'm doing something, I say, hey, go see my peoples. Let them keep me company. For those of you who don't know, Calvin is Cal Seaton at Dad's Workshop. Good friend of mine in the channel, and he's been around for a while on my channel, helping out. I appreciate it. Y'all get a chance, drop by Dad's Workshop. Not sure if I got any mods in the chat yet, but if I do, and you know how to drop the link, that'd be nice. Thank you. I'm just taking a scraper across because all of my machine tables, like this is my router table, double as assembly tables, as glue up tables, whatever I need to do. I can always get the equipment below the surface and just work on a nice, smooth, flat area. Well, flat anyway. Working on the smooth part right now. So this is 3/4 inch ply. So, and all of my screws are, like you saw in my short, are countersunk finishing screws. The unique thing about finishing screws is they have really good bite, but they have small heads on them, so you don't make a big giant hole. But because they are screws, you can fish them back out if you need to. I've not needed to, but that was the idea when I built these tables. I wasn't 100% sure what was going to work and what wasn't, what wouldn't. I try to think it out the best I can, and so far so good on most everything. I will be doing a video on all of these assembly tables. This week, God willing, and the creek don't rise. What I'm trying to do is save my sander or sandpaper a little distress by getting the really high spots or anything that's dried up glue or something like that. It's making a bump. Won't gunk up my sandpaper so bad. I think I also don't want to be too frivolous with these chisels. They tend to want to gouge because you can't hold them flat and use them. You gotta have a slight angle, and that's enough for them to dig from a sharp chisel. So I don't want a lot of gouges. I don't mind some. Some are definitely gonna happen, but I do want to try to minimize it as best I can. So I think I'm gonna just go with this 100 grit paper. I don't know if I have a nearby power source or if I'm gonna have to tap into something else. See if I didn't turn it on, it'd run away. All right. John Parham, salute. Appreciate you coming through. Oh, that's pretty cool. What up, Pat? How you doing today, man? We in here. I hope he didn't disappoint all y'all, because, man, I ain't doing a whole lot. Not a whole lot. But I enjoy the company. I am going to get around to that hook knife. Lion sent me a great video today on how to improve the cut for that thing, and I can't wait to try it. But because I got a decent response on my table saw video, and I was a little bit, not much, but a little bit embarrassed at the top of it. This table doesn't have much to it, so I want it to not look gross. Yes, Mom, I'm getting some PPE. Keep your lungs healthy so you can smoke easier. Just kidding. Plus, does not condone any sponsorship or any kind of beverages, any sort of sins at all that work in your wood. Let's go. They're right there. Let's see what else we got. I really need some aggression over there. I really need some aggression over there. And I think that 100 grit might be as rough as I've got in that particular. I'm gonna get out of there. In that particular grit, but we'll just change the papers out fast. How about that? You ready? Huh. All right. Let's check it for flat. See what we got. Now, I would love it to be nice and pretty, but that's just not possible with an assembly table not made of wood. It's for sure gonna have stuff soak into that wood, paints, pins, dyes, glues, and that's gonna happen. It's a wood surface, it's porous, it will absorb it. But what we don't want is humps. What we want is flat all the way across. That is what we want. Now, as I'm looking at the table, I've got about the thickness of that as a drop in the center, because I needed to leave space for this one, and this is pretty much a flat surface with a 3/4. But I think what I'm going to do is put another brace across the middle here and give it a little bit more strength there, so that I can pull that dip out. It's a relatively small one, but I want it gone. This is an assembly table. Sometimes I'm building cabinets, sometimes cabinet doors. Cabinet doors need to lay dead flat during the assembly. So I am going to have to do something about that. Let's see how my accessories are holding up. This is the guide or fence for my router table. Because that obviously is the router. Just crank that up and it comes up. But these are my guidelines. And that's how I know that I'm lined up right with the edge of what most of my routers are going to land on. And once it's there, pretty solid. I don't get much stuff escaping through this thing. I put the vacuum right there and it gets most of it. It's all blocked off both sides. So this little box, just a little place for all the dust and stuff to go. And it works great. Anyways, that looks clean enough. I'll do a video on that in a little bit. Once it's flat Formica top, it will aid you in many ways. I just don't like them. The problem, yeah, I don't like the slickness of a Formica top. I don't know if you see this, but like I got a little hole right there for a clamp. I got some holes right here to hold my camera mounts. And with Formica, you do that and it's potentially ragged there forever. And once it starts flaking up, it just bugs me. It bugs me way more than this glue does. I've heard that a lot though. So I think it's probably a good idea for some stuff, but I don't know about me. Bearded Groove says I wouldn't mind a hump. Hilarious. But anyways, I think that's good enough for me to do the video on it that I wanted to do. So I'm going to turn my attention and my lighting to yesterday's project that turned out pretty good, I thought. But yeah, still need some more finishes to let it soak in the dye and all of that stuff, kind of keep stuff looking its best. But that's the hook knife handle and whatnot that we made yesterday. Dyed it just because I like the look of this oak, this particular white oak. I like the look of it, so I dyed it purple. And then I used well, you probably saw the short. Hold tight. Ugh. Just gonna swap you out. About a masonite? Now truthfully, I just don't mind the wood. I haven't seen a disadvantage other than, a dye will discolor it or, a glue will get on it. But the glues, interestingly enough, once they penetrate that initial layer, smooth it flat right there, and it's a nice surface. Glue soaked into wood is actually a nice surface, as long as you get it flat. But you got to keep it flat, that's for sure. For what I'm doing anyway. But I do stand on all of these things an awful lot. But for that table I built it just before I started my YouTube channel, so I would say maybe a year and a half old. Hey, Mr. Winkle, how you doing? Wood's been an awesome top surface for me personally, so I've been happy with it. So today, I'm trying to get this thing, the actual blade itself, better. So I'm on this kick about taking these discount tools and making them better, more functional. And that's with handles, that's one big leap, particularly when you go from like this to this for a handle. It's way better. Or from that to that, ergonomically, this is great. Great scribe knife now. And, you know, sharp enough to be a little chisel for the micro thing. By the way, when my students are done making their version of a bowl, I'll ship. Oh, wow. You're teaching classes on how to be awesome. That's dope. Take your time, man. I appreciate you. I'm in the process of a secondary surprise for you too. So take your time. So the video that I saw today that Lion shipped to me was about taking these very distinctive turns out of the knife, as they tend to grab after you get through that first bevel. It wants to grab on that little hump, and there's two of them on this knife. So a nicer knife obviously has had more work done to it, more work on it. That's why it's going to be more expensive. And that work is in turning that edge. This is a discount way to do it that it works for. That's also why it's got that point on it, because it started off as a straight thing, and then they put the bevel, and then they bent it over and didn't bother with that part. But we're going to try to make it a better situation right now. Now you need to up your game as well. Oh man, your game is solid, brother. Solid. So, a couple things. I got to figure out how to hold this down to the table, and I thought, this isn't bad. So, I'm going to do that, I think. I'm not going to use this wood. I'm going to get me a little piece of 2x or something. And I'm going to stack it right here. I'm going to put those clamps on it, and then I'm going to get started on the first stages of getting that bevel out and getting it rounded over smoothly, and maybe making a better tool out of it. So first thing that I'm going to need is a couple of those clamps and a 2x4 of some sort. Got some other woods that are not 2x4s in this little scrap house that might work equally well. I need something small-ish. Not too bad. Oh, that'll do nicely. Land Rover, how you doing? Good to see you. I never got that that Discovery that you guys are supposed to ship out. Just email me and I'll resend my address. Probably just got lost in the mail. I'm sure. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it's on the way. Here it grooves. What it do, what it is, what it's gonna be. I'm not gonna do anything extra fancy here. I do not, for the life of me, know what I did with my very smallest clamps. I say that because these are not short enough to go on the underside of my desk, so the handle has to be up like this, and that is not as good because it gets in the way a little bit sometimes. And I have junkified my tabletop surface so bad right now that it makes no sense to try to clear it and clean it well enough for that thing to stick. We're just gonna deal. I am, however, gonna get the long arm of the law so I can get you a little bit closer to the action so you can see what I'm doing. This is gonna be sort of a delicate thing. So I want you to be able to see. That's all, baby. I just want you to be able to see me and what I'm all about. I should give you guys some hold music while I'm doing this. Open up. I said open. That's where I'm aiming at. There we go. Evan the dude. Evan the dude. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Oh, we don't need nothing that sharp. We don't need that. We don't need him. But we might need this guy. What was recommended was a bit of that action right there, so we can see that edge. And for the most part, we want to avoid it till last. My understanding. But all this got to go. Now, the motion, this is going to make a little bit of noise potentially. This is a crosshatch file, so it should cut either direction. But we're going to pull towards the edge, and we're going to do this kind of motion, right? So essentially, we're going to make sure we don't start on that edge. I should go the other way. Oh, I should flip it around and go the other way. I think it's going to be better to head towards that. More front music. I'm gonna flip this. Okay. flip it. So maybe if it's that way, that'll help me out a little bit. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Yeah, Master J checking out that sound. The turntable might wobble, but they don't fall down. This is the only time I approve of one-handed clamps. Is to hold something down while you get one of these clamps set. Otherwise, they're trash. They are weak sauce. Please don't break. Ugh. Now you can see I just can't work. Interesting, Mr. Bond. You seem to be a fool. Yes, quite. All right. Cleared away. Let's see. Oof. More stuff in the way. More stuff in the way. Move this crap. Move this crap. Get this other stuff out your way. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Stuff in the way. Stuff in the way. Making you insane. Should be able to start seeing that line shift a little bit. Like this is the unbothered part. And there it's sort of spreading That's what we're trying to do. Just round that edge out. Sorry. Mm. Yeesh. Still distinctly discernible. Back to work you go. Okay, Pat. See if I can turn this. This thing does not want to stay put. And I really want to be careful about putting too much pressure on it, cracking that handle. It is oak, but it is not titanium. Stuff a little more tightening. Tighten up. Come on and be a man. That's something Dolly Parton said, sang to somebody. John Travolta. Maybe I just need two. I'm really gonna have to just bite the bullet on a mountable tabletop vise. Just am. But for now, we're gonna do what we can with what we got. It's a little shorter, but help out. Now this is the way you're supposed to be able to do this without overheating the blade, ruining your temper. Man, that thing is still definitely there. That sounds better. I don't know how to get you a good view. That does not seem better. Man, this thing is in there. So there are other less sophisticated ways. How much snow has everybody gotten? Yeesh. I hate we're even still having snow conversations. I'm just over here having temperature conversations, running my business in the ground. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's see what this does. Let me keep some water and my little finger available. If it's too hot, you gotta stop. But temperature my hand can tolerate is well below what's going to damage the metal. Probably still should have some masking on my face. So I'm going to do that. Do I have a single cut file? I do not know. I don't think so. Get on my ear. Oh, these. Put the thing on upside down. I put the mask on upside down. What do you say, use a flat wheel? Well, I definitely got a little flat wheel. Let us take heed to some helpful advice from our friend Beard Grooves. I mean, he's got a groovy beard. I mean, what could go wrong? Where's my little doohickey? Comes from having too much stuff on your space. But that's all right. What I do know is that this bad boy is always available for me. Always. Tools you get from your kids, you never throw away. Good thing my kids got me a good tool. A multi-tool I've had for 10 years. Easy. All right. Flap away. Flop daddy, flop daddy, flop daddy, flop daddy. Ooh, flop daddy. Let me slow that down, see something. Must be some pretty good metal, because this ain't no chump cask right here. This is not no easy win. And I'm wondering if I might ought to go back to this. This thing right here seemed like it was doing a little better. A little better. See what else we got in this little box. I don't have to go to the truck. I don't want to go to the truck, no. I don't want to go to no truck. I'm out of luck if I gotta go to the truck. There we are. Wait. Probably would be better one of these larger joints, but I don't see one. All I see is this. All I see is this, no matter what. You could never be this patient or focused. It's called obsession, John. It's called obsession. Turns out there's not a lot I can do about it, but I can direct it. Woo! That's doing good. It's rounded over, but you can still feel it. I'm still trying to work it a little bit. Can y'all see that? How that did pretty good. Can't even see it. It's your naked eye. It's your nasty naked eye. Put some clothes on those eyes. Wait. A little more over here. Maybe a little more right there. You'll feel it here. Close. Real close. There you can see it. Now you can see it again, so I gotta knock it out. Not being able to see it doesn't mean it's not there. You gotta be able to not feel it. Everywhere but there. That did something. That seems to be what we were after. Seems to be. Now we'll put a little polish on it. See if we can figure out how to do that. Get that out of my way. Should have had a wedge. I wish I had a wedge. I could prevent breaking my stuff. That's almost right. We'll try that. Come on. All right, let's try one of these buffing wheels. Do have this one. Let's see if it'll cut stuff. Moment of truth. Not bad. It's a little sharper at the front, look, than at the back. So, middle seems good. Not really mad at that performance. What up, Tim? How you doing? Andre Atlanta, what's up? Good to see somebody from the A joining me. Hey, so much business in the A. So much going on. It's risky business in the A. Hey. I can definitely tell the difference between this and let's try this one. It may not be a difference. Let's see. Now both of these got sharper in the same time. So this should have the same edge. It does not want to go across that. This one, same place. Set it right out. Linked it right up. So, I think we've got ourselves a better tool. Happy to say. Now, looks like we've got the bulk of that turn out. I do think, one, now I have to do this one, but I have to make it better somehow. But I'm going to work with this one for a little while just to see what could be better. One thing I think that might be better, since these are pretty much right hand just with the one side, if I had the handle a little closer to the blade, I'd be pulling on it instead of up against here, maybe. Because if you've ever used one of these, you know it's going to do stuff to your hand right there. So maybe figure out a better way, a smoother way, something to do that. What could that be? I don't know. To the bowl. Hey, now a spoon. Hmm? Hmm? But seriously, what I do need to do is one, work on his back. I can still feel it a little bit on his back end, and that may be why it doesn't grab quite the same. Or it could be my sharpening isn't as astute back here. But this is leagues better than this. Leagues better. So y'all let me know what y'all think. I am going to take a little bit of a break. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I might go take me a little break. See about the kiddos. Maybe grab something quick to eat. I do like food. So I'm going to jump up over here for now. And I'm going to check y'all out the next time. Thanks so much for joining me. West does it. Appreciate y'all. Thanks, Beard Grooves, for hanging out with me. Tim's List. Rob just showed up. Man, I wish I'd seen you before now. But I don't know if you saw what we did, but these are basically, these are identical. And we took the bevel off of this one and rolled the edge so that that spine is not there and that micro bevel is not there. And it seems to do a tremendous job versus what was. So we'll see if we can figure out what to do with this one. Maybe make it a little bit better if we can. But thank you, everybody, for joining me. I will come back and see you the next time. But for now, put some finish on this thing. Put some finish in this thing. I'll see y'all the next time. Check out my shorts. And I got other videos and stuff coming soon, and shorts and all of that stuff. So go check it out. It's a little bit entertaining. If you like the music, I've got a playlist down there. It says Hip Hop Workshop. A lot of my little shorts has just got music and me doing stuff. West does it. Peace. Thanks for joining.